welcome to your weather review for February 2018 for New York City. Officially, it was the warmest ever recorded February for Central Park. Averaged 42.1 degrees. The previous was last year at 41.6. Warmest day of the month was last Wednesday at 78 degrees. It almost hit 80. But the humidity real feels were in the low to mid 80s last Wednesday. So not that they don't want to tell you that. The meteorologists don't want to tell you that. But I researched the real feel and it was 82 at Central Park last week. Coldest day was 31 back on February 3rd, which meant the nighttime low was 16, which was the coldest nighttime low. Most rain happened on the 11th, 1.31 inches. Most snowfall was 4.4 inches on the 17th. Two quick reminders about this month. We are springing forward. Clocks are going to spring ahead on March 11th, wee hours in the morning at 3 a.m. So remember Saturday night, if you still have your clocks, to make sure you spring forward. And more importantly, I know people have social lives on Saturday nights, but sleep is important. Sleep is a very essential part of an adult life, and especially children's. So if you have the kids, put them to sleep early on Saturday. If you're an adult, try to make sure you at least get 7 hours, 7, 8 the most. Saturday night going into Sunday, which I'm not too thrilled about because I have to wake up early for an event in Brooklyn the next day, which I'm not happy about. But we all have to spring our clocks forward. Unless you're in Arizona, then that's different. But just remember to do that. And the start of spring, vernal equinox, will begin on March 20th. But it's always possible that snow can come. We've had snow a few days before the start of vernal equinox. We've even had a couple incidents where we've had according to an inch on the start of vernal equinox. It's very common in the New York area, but you notice spring takes its shape in May in the New York area. So Memorial Day weekend, it'll feel like summer, the way we're used to it. And just to quickly want to mention that if you go to Burlington Coat Factory or Macy's, don't go to the Macy's in Broadway Mall. That's all I'm going to say, because there's less selection. If you go to the one in Manhattan, for an example, if you go to a standalone Macy's, these retailers, especially Burlington Coat Factory, they'll have winter clearance sales on winter coats and winter shirts. So try to take advantage, because in the past it's benefited me, and I use it for next season, and it always is a friendly reminder to take advantage. If it's not in store, you can always do it online. But try to research prices. That's all I'm going to say. Regular and how much percentage off the retailer is giving you, because it'll matter. Not that many people talk about it, but I say it all the time. March is a good month to look for winter clothing, because you're going into spring and the retailers put their clothing out. So let's bear that in mind. Now we're going to go to my PowerPoint, put it up in full screen. It's very important that we discuss the Noreaster. I can't properly pronounce it, but okay. What to watch for? The storm will begin tonight after 6 o'clock. Tonight into tomorrow, expect power outages. Expect bigger high tides thanks to the full moon along the coast. Wind gusts will be up to 55 miles an hour. Huge amounts of rainfall. Expect mass transit to have problems tomorrow. The Long Island Railroad, Metro North, Amtrak, New Jersey Transit, even air travel will be impacted in the New York area tomorrow. So, if possible, avoid any unnecessary travel tomorrow. The best thing to do is call in sick. I know it sounds stupid and I know people are going to lose money, but safety is a priority. if you're involved with the weather, if you're with Con Ed or whatever power company you're involved with, then you have to keep your obligation because you're responsible for the grid. Sanitation's going to be busy tomorrow. I don't know why the city hasn't declared a snow alert yet. It's after 5 o'clock. There should be a snow alert declared, but apparently not yet. And then the big problem will be, yes, the snow. I just mentioned it. Storm will be ending its snow tomorrow? So this is the snowfall amount from Channel 7, WABC. 1 to 3 inches is expecting, but I'm going to predict right now that if anything happens, most likely we're just going to get an inch or two in Queens. Nassau could see maybe an inch. If you go north and west, you could see 3 inches. So I'm going to predict that the 5 boroughs will see, maybe Staten Island will get 3, but other than that, 1 to 2 inches is definitely in question, according to what Channel 7 is saying, but the GFS somehow is disagreeing. I'll pull that up in a sec. Futurecast shows that the snow will begin at noon, 11 o'clock noon tomorrow, and it will continue into 3 o'clock, where the rain will try to come back. This is a little bit tricky to predict. You have 40 degrees. With that, I don't know what they're thinking in terms of the snow. I think they're not looking at the GFS. They should be paying attention to it. So, flooding. I mentioned this earlier. Minor to moderate coastal flooding. Isolated major. A foot or 2 feet storm surge on top of full moon tides, which will be taking place on Saturday. So let's go back to the first intro. Let me go back to the intro of the PowerPoint here. So expect the bigger, higher tides. And there's a reason for that. Because if you look at the graph I just posted, you have this coloration of the full moon, which starts tonight, and it goes into March 9th with last quarter. And that's not good for a storm like this. So if you're along the shore, I really hope you got those sandbags ready. And it's not good for Long Beach, especially how their St. Patrick's Day parade is in 2 weeks. So how is this going to affect Long Beach? That's going to have to be into play. But yeah, that's where the PowerPoint ends, because I couldn't get any more information to you using Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so we're going to quickly take a look at the GFS. Take a look at it. The GFS somehow disagrees with Channel 7's model. So if we keep playing it over and over, and let me clear this up. I'm sorry if it's interfering with the view. If you see the GFS right now, you're noticing that wait a minute, hang on. I'm sorry, everyone. Let me fix this. I don't know what happened here. The GFS is claiming that March 9th we could see some snow? That's interesting. Alright, this is where I want to play it from, so let's just bring it down. That's better. So if you're looking at the GFS right now, low pressure is affecting this nor'easter. And if we go back, we can rewind back. I'll stop it from around here. Okay, here we go. This is Saturday. Alright? And if we rewind back to Friday, you can clearly tell that this is just mostly rain. And I don't know, where are these meteorologists claiming that, oh, it's going to snow. It's a possibility we might get snow. And this is what my friends and I were talking about on Facebook, my personal friends. Guys, I was saying this earlier. Everybody else watching, if you're not my friends, everybody else in the audience, look at this. Is this going to be a storm that becomes snow? Because my PowerPoint clearly makes it look like it, but the GFS, It just doesn't look like snow. And if you look at Friday, all the snow is upstate. We can put an angle. And I might as well mention that one of my coworkers who is a medical student, she has to go back to upstate New York tomorrow. And I told her, well, I was looking at the Tropical Tidbits website, which we're on now. You're going to get all that snow. It's not just her, it's my cousins in Utica. They are the ones who are going to get the real impact. They are getting 12 inches of snow, the minimum, maybe 18, because they're so used to the cold winters up there in Utica. So, I don't know how that's going to happen. I'm praying for them. I really, really are, because they're like, oh, we're used to it, don't worry. Well, we're lucky down here that it's looking like, because this low pressure over here is going to cooperate. I'm hoping the GFS is right, but then again, it could be wrong. I don't know. That's where I'll get off the thing at the moment. So just the major warnings I want to list right now. We have a coastal flood warning for southern Queens and southern Nassau. So this will definitely impact Far Rockaway. No question. And I'm more concerned about the Far Rockaway branch of the Long Island Railroad. That's not going to be good for people who need that branch. And the main line, I'll mention that quickly, will be impacted too, because you have the elevation with the Babylon branch, but we've seen past experience that the Babylon branch can get issues too during these type of storms. Okay. Jamaica Bay could be impacted, Rockaway Inlet. Yeah, I mean that's coastal flood watch. Coastal flood watch will be for along the southern bays of Long Island, Jamaica Bay and Queens, and the Atlantic Ocean overfront. We have a flood watch. I was going to say flood watch anyway, but flood watch is in effect until, well, flood watch started now, so what am I even saying? But it does impact Queens. And all these counties, it's so, oh, here we go. I'll highlight it right here. That way you can see it. And I'll even zoom in. If I didn't zoom in earlier, I apologize, but that doesn't matter now because, ooh, we got a problem. We just lost it. Ooh, easy to find. Flood watch remains in effect from Friday morning through late Friday night. I don't know if it'll be extended to the New York area until Saturday, but it's a very big possibility. High wind warning. This is the big problem. Power outages. We have the power lines here in Queens, especially here in Fresh Meadows along 73rd Avenue. It's a possibility. I always tell my neighbors, I still talk to, I still have neighbors in this area. I tell them, you got to be aware that a tree could knock down the line. And we all have Con Edison's number, thankfully, so I'm not going to put that up on the screen. But wherever you are, just when you're done with this video, if you're listed in all these counties with the high wind warning, I'm going to highlight you guys right now. Please remember to have the phone number handy for your power utility, your power company, because it's going to be important to keep them in mind. And I can't wait to see the outages because PSE&G, Con Edison, oh boy, that's going to be fun to look at. And that's pretty much it. We have the wind gusts that can go up to 60 miles an hour. The strongest winds will be from tomorrow afternoon into Friday night. And more importantly, travel is going to be very difficult for high-profile vehicles. So that's not something you want to do tomorrow if you're in a high-profile vehicle, is being out in this weather. Not going to be fun. To wrap it up, Let's just look at the forecast after the nor'easter. So we're going to have a nice weekend. It's going to be a few degrees above average. Saturday should be near 50. Same with Sunday. Monday, Tuesday looks fine, but look at Tuesday night. We will have another chance of rain showers. Wednesday it's going to rain. Thursday we may have another chance of snow, but the GFS claims that Friday we may have another chance of snow. That's going to have to be determined by the GFS, but next week's looking fine. I just hope it doesn't snow on Sunday, because the last thing I need is for my event to be... Well, it's not really my event to sort of say. It's technically for my mom. It's the friend's daughter. I'm not going to get into it, but I hope that doesn't get canceled, because the last thing I need is my mom to flip out and then call the friend and then figure out when the daughter's going to reorganize the event. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just stay safe tomorrow. And again, please, I urge you, if you can get out of work tomorrow like I did, because I normally don't work Friday anyway, please, please try to avoid travel tomorrow. Don't even think about taking the Long Island Railroad. Don't even think about taking any mass transit tomorrow, because it's going to be a day, unless you really have to, unless you are a very essential employee that matters to the storm. Please avoid any unnecessary travel tomorrow. You know, I know people are gonna flip out. I need the milk and bread. I need the milk and bread. Oh, it might be too late for that now. Might definitely be too late for that. So that's it. That's where I end it. So try to stay safe tomorrow. Don't do anything stupid in this weather, and tomorrow I will definitely do an update on the nor'easter. So take it easy and be safe during the nor'easter tomorrow.